Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to factorize quadratic expressions, specifically the easy ones. So this video is like part one where I show you the easy ones, then we will have part two where we'll do the harder ones. Now, the easy ones don't have any number in front of x squared. Technically, there's like a secret one that we're multiplying over there. So this easy method will only work if there's not a number in front of there. So I'm just gonna jump right into an example to show you how to do it. So you write down your quadratic expression. Okay, now we want to write this as two brackets. Here we'll have x, here we'll have x. Okay, now what we need to figure out is what signs do we need to put here and what numbers do we need to write here. Okay, we start by looking at the number you are given here. We have 32. Now, you need to write down the factors of 32, which is 32 and 1. We can have 4 and 8. We can have... What else can we have? We can have 2 and 16. I hope there's not one that I am missing. I think that's about it. So for this to work, you would need to know your multiplication tables very well. Okay. So now we need to check which of these will give us the middle term when you add them. So that number in the middle, no, not in the middle, on the right over there, will tell you, do you need to add or subtract these factors of 32? Now obviously 32 plus 1 is 33, 16 plus 2 is 18, 8 plus 4 is 12. So 8 and 4 are the ones that we want. So I'm going to write in my brackets over here 8 and 4. Okay. Now what about the signs? So the way I do it is I look at the signs over here. If there's a plus over there, means you will have the same signs in your brackets over here, as in either plus plus or minus minus. If there's a negative over there, you will have different or opposite signs in your brackets. Now, which ones do you need to use? So this one helps you with that. This one, so we can read this as you need to have the same signs and they both need to be positive. Okay, so we have x plus 8 and x plus 4. You can always do a little check for yourself. Let's see if we end up with the original expression. We'll have x squared plus 4x plus 8x plus 32, which is x squared plus 12x plus 32, which is what we had originally. So it worked. Okay, Let's try another one where there's two pluses, and I'll show the other signs later on. Okay, so we have x squared plus 14x plus 45. I write my two brackets, x and x. Let's start with the signs right away. So we're going to have the same signs, and they're both going to be positive. Okay. Now, what are the factors of 45? 45 and 1 and 9 and 5. By the way, I always write the largest one at the top and then the smallest one at the bottom. So remember, we need to add these factors. 45 plus 1 is 46. 9 plus 5 is 40. So 9 and 5 is the ones that we want. So we write 9 and 5. You can check, that will give you the original expression when you multiply the brackets. Okay, the third one. Okay, what happens if we have a negative over there? Let's see. We have x squared minus 8x plus 15. Okay, you still write your two brackets, x and x. Okay. Now, what are the factors of 15? Either 15 and 1 or 3 and 5. Okay. We still need to add them. Okay. 15 plus 1 is 16. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now, we want that 8, the digit 8, to be the same as that digit over here. Okay, so 5 and 3 are the ones that we want. Now, what about the signs? Now, remember, I told you, this tells you you need the same sign. And that one tells you they should both be negative. So it's going to be x minus 5 and x minus 3. So we'll have x squared minus 3x minus 5x. A negative times a negative is positive, so plus 15. So it worked. Okay, let's look at another one. What about if there's a negative over there? Okay, let's write out x squared plus 10x minus 24. We write out two brackets. Now, let's write down the factors of 24. It's 24 and 1, 3 and, I missed one, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. I'm always writing the largest one at the top. Okay. Now, this sign, negative 24, tells you you need to subtract. Okay. Which of these will give us 10 when we subtract? 12 minus 2 is 10. Okay. You can see 8 minus 3 is 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. 24 minus 1 is 23. So none of those work. So we need 12 and 2. Now, the minus tells us we need different signs or opposite ones. So either plus minus or minus plus. Now what do you write first? That sign over there tells you. So this says write a plus first and then a minus. Now for my method to work, you always need to write the largest factor in the first bracket and the smallest factor in the second bracket. Let's check if that worked. So we'll have, if we multiply it out, x squared minus 2x plus 12x minus 24. And what's minus 2x plus 12x? That is positive 10x. And that's what we had over there. So it worked. Okay. Okay, let's look at the last case when there's two negatives. So this one wants us to factorize z squared minus 9z minus 22. We still write our two brackets. I'll write z and z. Now let's look at the factors of 22. You can have 22 times 1 is 22, or 11 times 2 is 22. Now remember, the sign there tells you you need to subtract. What's 22 minus 1? It's 21. 11 minus 2 is 9. Which digit matches the middle term? It's 11 minus 2. So I write 11 and 2. Now remember, this one tells you you need different signs. And then, which one should you write first? That one tells you a negative. So I'll write negative. They need to be different, so the other one is positive. Let's check if that works. Z minus 11, z plus 2. We'll have z squared plus 2z minus 11z, and then minus 22. And what is 2z minus 11z? That is minus 9z. So there you have it. I hope this method makes sense. Quadratics are important because you'll need to use it when you need to solve quadratic equations, when you want to look at the graphs of quadratics, so like when you want to find the x-intercept. So if you can get this right, keep on practicing, you will benefit from it, because this comes up in all grades, sometimes even in university. So I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video, which is part 2, where we'll look at quadratic expressions that have a not equal to 1.